and let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
But we're not here to talk about comedians right now. We're here to talk about other stuff. So let's dive into that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun with my main man, DRE.
What's good? Sensei Dre, Sensei of Fitness, and a whole bunch of stuff you never heard of.
Never heard of it. Can't even imagine it. You know what I'm saying? And I am JD, aka He Who Pods. And we're switching things up just a smidge this episode. There will not be a sponsored by. We're switching up our food topic, and it's technically part 2 of last pod. So I came up here last pod. For those who didn't see last pod, you should go back and watch it, by the way. But we spoke last pod about Tyson Foods recalling lots and lots of chicken nuggets because there was lead during the manufacturing process input into some of the chicken nuggets, and they recalled tons and tons of food. Not tons literally, but there were many pounds of food recalled. I think it was 30,000 if I remember correctly, but it doesn't matter the amount, whatever. The point is, a lot of chicken nuggets, which led to a wider conversation about food recalls, in which I said, hey, I ain't picking on chicken nuggets because it happens to all type of stuff.
Right.
And just a few days later, what has been all over the news since we potted last, all over the interwebs since we potted last, the FDA is warning parents because applesauce and other quote-unquote puree packs, like the squeezy joints. This looks crazy on camera, by the way. But hey, that's how they get eaten, right? So, squeeze packs for kids, go packs for kids mostly. A lot of them have been recalled. It started with applesauce right after our last pod. Well, when we recorded it anyway. A few days later, applesauce was announced. I sent it right to you, Dre. I said, yo, this is crazy. But now they're saying it's not just applesauce. They're saying we have to be on the lookout, everyone with small children, for these applesauce, which also have what? More lead in them. What? Craziness. Would you like some lead with your applesauce? Like some lead with your vegetable puree? And so, our audience kind of is a wide range of adults, and their children are also a wide range. And so we thought this would be a great topic to come here and rediscuss, because now it's gotten kind of zoned in, if you will, on not just adults. Now, where chicken nuggets was like, yeah, your kid might like them, they might not, to get this vegetable, this chicken. Well, no, folks, this is straight up for your toddler. So if you got a toddler, this is a conversation to have. I have a lot of thoughts, but since I've already spoken a lot, Dre, I'll let you spark it.
Yeah, man. This is definitely a continuation of our last conversation. And as you said, if you didn't hear that last conversation, just go back one and check that out. But what do we have here is, once again, we cannot trust corporations, for the large part, because corporations' first goal is to make money. And a lot of
That's
times
right.
It's not necessarily about having safe food. I mean, they will jeopardize the safety of food a lot of times. I don't want to say every corporation, but a lot of them, especially the more bigger ones, they'll jeopardize food safety to create a process that saves them a half a penny, even if that means that the food processing might have more of a danger to the public, and
Yes.
so we right back to where we were, in the sense of like, okay, you want to have things, as we said last time, with less steps as possible. So in the case of, let's say, apples or applesauce, yeah, you know what? It's incredibly convenient to have like the little squeeze pack and keep them in the fridge and just put them in your bag and just give them to the babysitter or whoever, wherever your kid goes, and say, here you go. look so convenient. But what's the price of this convenience now, right?
That's the question.
And the only thing I have to say is that I think we're going to have to take a few steps back, right? We've gone far. We've gone really far with this technology. We might have to go a few steps back just to get some safety going. And what that means is you might have to just, I don't know, buy some apples, organic or whatever, and do what we used to do, 30, 40, 50 years ago, and mash them up yourselves. I know you're big with this, Jay, because you have like, a processor of things that can mash things up, and you often, you know, for lack of a better word, puree things yourself. You know what I'm saying? To say, hey, I bought this thing, and I'm gonna mix it with this and create a puree. And you could speak on that because I've seen you do it, and it don't take a long time to do. You know what I mean? It's just basically saying, okay, I'm gonna have an extra 5 minutes or so just to do
That's it.
this so that I know what's in this thing, because a huge giant factory will lots of times miss things. Pieces of lead, pieces of plastic, pieces of rubber going around. These little things can get in there, and they do an assessment. And by an assessment, I mean they say to themselves, okay, how many jars do we think this was in? And based on those many jars, how many people do we think will be sick? And then how many of those sick people will actually sue? And then they'll make a number, and based on that number, they'll either recall, as we're seeing that they're doing,
Or
or they'll just be like, leave it out there. We'll if it goes to court, we'll just settle and give them a few $1,000s and move on. So
that's it.
you just got to understand that this is the nature of the beast, right? I'm not saying every corporation, but the biggest ones, this is what they do. It's something called risk management. And I just happened to,
There it is.
long time ago, went to school for things like that, right? In terms of risk management. I've worked for an insurance company for years in a whole nother life. But that's what you do. You have somebody that's a risk manager and says, well, these are the numbers. And then someone above him says, okay, do we recall or do we don't? But let's put that to the side. Only thing I'm really saying in terms of what this show is about is you might want to do things yourself now, right? We have the technology. It's not like 50 years ago where it might take a long time to get this thing going. We got machines, that can do this thing in 5 minutes. We got juicers. How long has juicers been out? 30 years or something like that? Okay, you can
Right.
make your own juice now. You don't have to buy orange juice. You don't have to buy whatever
Right.
juice. Put some fruit in there, hit a couple of buttons, boom, you got juice. And a lot of these products, I know you know more than me, a lot of these products could make juice, make puree, make chop this, that, and that, all from one machine. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
I just think if you're a parent, doing things on your own right now might just be the best way to go to ensure safety for your child. Get jars, seal them up, then give them to whoever your kid is going to be with, rather than just going right to Mott's and pulling out the Mott's tube and just being like, hey, everything's okay. I wouldn't trust it
Right.
if I had a small child. And to be honest with you, I don't buy that stuff. You know what I mean? For me personally, I'll just have an apple. I'll just get an orange. I don't really need it to
Right.
be franken-seeded. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you tell me
Right.
how you feel about it.
All right. So I have a few thoughts. Number one, yeah, risk assessment, risk management. That's a big part of any business, right? Like you said, it's going to be what makes dollars more than what harms people. Even in the movie Fight Club, which we know is an exaggerated truth, there's a scene where he says, I work for a famous car company. I go out in the field and assess damages.
Right.
I assess really bad crashes. And then I find out what's the problem and report back to my company. If it costs less than it costs for a recall, will leave it and just pay people. This is an exaggeration of the truth, but not a complete lie. Something we have to think about in all forms of business. This is part of it. As two business owners, we interact with this in different ways, but we also interact with this ourselves, right? The next thing is, Dre, you beat me to it, which is, yo, go make your own shit, right? If you go make your own stuff, then there's less to worry about. Why? First of all, you don't know the process of the manufacturer. You just know what it says on the back of the label. It says apples, water, oil, carrots, whatever. But we don't know the process. We don't know how much of it is in there. If you make your own stuff, you know exactly what's in there. You know, I put 1 carrot, 1 apple, 1 ounce of water, and put it in the blender. And that's it. Let it stay a little chunky, put it in some containers, and gave it to my kid the next day for lunch. Nothing really to question, right? Because what happens is you don't know how much this is or is not stepped on, as I like to say, at the companies. Or as we say in layman's terms, how much it is processed. You don't know what they're doing to the apples. Is it a real apple? Is it apple sulfate or some shit? Who knows? You don't know if you're not making it. Now, yes, I do purees. I've done sauces. This is part of how I make the body butters. I have a group of machines that I bought in a bundle like years ago, and they work amazingly. And I'm able to do lots of different things. I can't juice, but I can blend and make smoothies. I can make like smoothie bowls. I can make like crumbles. I can make all this different stuff. This is not to brag. This is to respond to what Dre said. And you can too. And some people have told me, hey, but I don't have $200 to go buy the flyest blender. But who said you got to buy the flyest blender? That's my question. Because the truth is, you can use any blender. It depends on what it is you're trying to do. There's ways to keep it thicker. There's recipes online. You can add ice. You can do all these different things. And now you can change the game. Because you could take a couple of minutes and make a large amount. And now you have enough for a month maybe. Or 2 weeks maybe. I don't know how much you give your toddler or a small child. You know, that's going to vary. But now you have a bunch. And you didn't have to keep spending this money, which is another thing we don't think about as consumers, right? We just think about, oh, I have to buy purees for my toddler. But how much are you spending on purees a month? How much are you spending? Because you could be probably spending less on just the blender or just the food processor. If you sit down with a calculator or a pen and pencil and bust out the math, let me see. Oh, okay, this costs $400 for purees. Well, you could get the fly, super crazy blender bundle for way less than that. So, you know, and it varies, right? Like I have the same conversation with people about filtered water, which is similar but different in the sense that we all go buy water. But if you could bring the process to your house, you could probably save money and do whatever you want. You don't got to worry about, oh, I went to the store, they didn't have any gallons. I couldn't get a gallon. I had to pay triple for a 2 liter. Well, if you have it at home, you could do whatever you want. I think the problem is convenience has kind of trumped a lot of things today, which we spoke about a little bit last pod. And I think that if you take away a little bit of the convenience, you can probably up the quality very quickly. And like you said, it doesn't take long. It really doesn't. It's easy to go on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram, all the places you're on already, and just look up how to make a carrot puree. Boop, done.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. It really is. Convenience has become a crutch. We're so reliant on these systems. The very thought of doing something your own seems like crazy. Like what? You know,
Yeah.
like, and then not only is it convenient, it has to be convenient and disposable, right? Like we don't want to wash something out. You know, someone tells you, oh, here's this
Right.
glass jar, put it in that. The kid can eat from it, then you just put it back up and then bring it home and wash it. What? Wash it? You know what I mean? I don't have
Why would I
time
do
for
that?
that. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that we've gone to this place where everything has to be super convenient and disposable, and we want to know why, like the earth is like killing us, right? Because we create
Talk
more and
about
more
it.
landfills and stuff like that. And I really think, yo, is we got to go back. We just really do. We have to think, we evaluate, because the one thing I like, you think about the farmers markets, right? And I hope that they're still popping. I know I go to some, occasionally when I can, but at least at a
Yeah.
farmers market, you're actually talking to the person that created this food, right? Like, they're there,
Right.
and you can ask them anything you want. What's the process? What do you use? What kind of seed?
Right.
um what's the process from getting it to grow into this basket? And you know what?
Right.
These cats are more than happy to tell you. There's no secrets. They love their process. They're like,
Right.
they want those kind of questions. They take pride in usually a slow, methodical way that they make whatever it is that they're making. When you ask them about their
Right.
meats, their veggies, their fruits, they're gonna give you the whole thing. And think about it. When was the last time anyone could go to, and I'm not picking on any company here, but you can go to Mott's and say, hey, I want to know what your process is for, making
Right.
applesauce. They're not going to tell you, and they're going to be like, get out of here, because they're too big to
Right.
spend time with you, right? But a small farmer at a farmer's market, well, they're going to love that, right? And so we might, when
Right.
I say go back, yo, take the opportunity, hit up some of these farmers markets, create a relationship with the people who are making your food, and be able to ask them questions. I want to know, what your process is.
Right.
What do you feed your chickens? What do you feed, whatever it is that they're bringing to the market? They'll be more than happy to tell you. And I think this is what we might have to
Yeah.
do. It might sound super old school, and it might sound tedious because you got to do a few more extra steps. Yes, it's very easy just to go down to Walmart or whatever and get whatever. But as you
Right.
said, with that convenience comes the crutch. And if you are depending on the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, to make sure that your food is safe, that's an illusion.
Right.
It's an illusion. You know what I mean? Because why we keep seeing these recalls, because the Food and Drug Administration is in the pockets of the corporations. They're not. No one is getting arrested. No one is banging down on the CEO of Mott's or whoever to be like, yo, you did
Right.
something wrong and you're going to jail. No. Maybe they have to pay a fine. Maybe. Write a
Right.
check, and it's business as usual. So
That's it.
I suggest, hey, look into farmers markets, look into to local growers if you can. Go on the internet, do a search, and
Yeah.
see what local growers is doing wherever you are, and try to support them and ask them a million questions about their food. And trust me, they'll be more than happy to answer them.
Absolutely. Last thing I want to say is I know some people hearing this will say, I can't afford the prices at the farmer's market because they cost more. But more and more, I see that farmers markets are accepting like SNAP, EBT, and different government assistance programs where they're like, oh, that's what you got? Oh, yeah, here, go ahead. I take that payment. So you might not even have to come out of pocket depending on your financial situation.
Right, right, right. And then as you always,
Uh
yeah.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
Then the last thing is like, the question you have to ask yourself is, well, how much is your health worth? Oh, it's expensive, but okay, but how much is your health worth though? If it's only
Message.
if it's only worth 99 cents, then yeah, you're right. Go
Right.
eat whatever.
Go get 100
Yeah,
nuggets.
and knock yourself out. But if you say, yo, my health is my wealth and it means so much to me, then whatever you spend on in that market, look at it as an investment. Not that you're paying for this, you invested into your body. And
Right.
that's the best investment you can make as far as I'm concerned.
I agree wholeheartedly. All right. So yeah, I think that's good. I think we've covered a lot of ground on this topic. I don't want to overextend it. I don't want to make it too prolonged because we dove in last episode. But I thought that we should discuss it and also try to offer some alternatives to the parents who are listening to this who may have small children, toddlers, etc. And so we can move on. You know what I'm saying? We got other topics. So we received a fitness question after our last pod. Someone who listens, shout out to you. You know who you are. I only not saying names because I don't know. They didn't tell me say my name or don't say my
Okay.
name. So, I don't want to cause any trouble. But for the future, please let us know, listeners, viewers, if you want your name said or not. So when we read this question, because if you don't tell us, we won't know, and we're gonna leave you anonymous just to be safe. And so Dre has our question. You can read it, and then we could dive in.
Okay. I'm going to actually share my screen because that's my favorite. And
All right.
let's go here. Boom. See it? You see it, Jay?
I do now. You want me to read it since it's on the screen?
No, I'm saying, do you see? You don't see it at all?
No, I do see it.
Okay, yeah, I'll read it. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just wanted to make sure that you
Okay,
see
yeah, go
it,
for
the
it.
viewers see it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
All right. So this is from Anonymous, right? And I was
Right.
thinking about this question because it's a little bit loaded, but let's go in. So my question for the next
Right.
pod: I've been losing weight based on food, mostly portion sizes and variety. I have very little time for working out. I'm 5'9", 220 pounds, 215 on a good week, 225 Thanksgiving night. Ha ha ha. That's pretty funny.
Right.
I've been told I have to build muscle to burn more fat. Should I just do heavy weights in smaller sets or do more reps with less weight? I have an exercise bike that I don't like. LOL.
Right.
So, let's tackle this question. So, the first thing I got to say is, well, as anything, what's your goal, right? So if your goal is to say, well, I just want to lose weight, that's all I want to do. And you're saying, well, I'm doing that because I eat less food. So I see that the food is going, the weight is going down because I'm eating less. Then I would be like, if you're satisfied, keep it going. You're doing what you want to do, right?
But they're not satisfied.
But they're saying, well, but they're not
Right.
satisfied, right? Because they're saying, well, look, I heard that if I build more muscle, I'll burn fat. Well, yes and no. So the thing is, when you build more muscle, yes, you're right. Muscle is very, very metabolically stingy, right? Like when you have muscle's like I get the nutrients first. Fuck y'all,
Right.
right? It's gonna make you more metabolic. So when people are just like my metabolism, what they're really talking about is muscle. How much muscle you have on you is going to increase your metabolism somewhat, right? But we have to go back to your goals,
Right.
Anonymous, because if your goal is to just lose weight, you're doing that. But you're probably, like most people, have a goal on how you want to look. Because you can just lose weight and just have, soggy muscles, let's say, right? The muscles ain't going nowhere. They're not pronounced. You don't really see anything. They're not defined.
Just a
Or
slim
a
dude.
lot of people like to use the word, yeah, a lot of people like to use the word toned, right? Well, all that means build muscle. So if you want to look where it looks like you have muscle and less fat, if that's the look you want, which is 98% of the people out there, most
Right.
people want to have muscle that looks good and less fat, then you're going to have to work out. You're going to have to do some resistance
Right.
training. Okay? Um Now, it sounds like by you asking that question, should you do less reps or more reps? It sounds like you're a beginner. And if you're a beginner, I'm going to just tell you, just do 8 to 10 reps. Whatever the weight is that can have you do 8 to 10 reps. You don't need to do big mounds of weight right now and just do 4 or 5 reps, because that's not where you are. That's more of an intermediate thing, right? So let's take me, for example. When I want to work out and I say to myself, man, I need to take this to the next level. So I'll tell you, like with dumbbells, okay, I can have dumbbells that are 75 pounds. Now I got the strength. I could just rep those out all the way to 12, all the way to 13. That's not enough for me. I got to kick it up to the hundreds. All right. Now, I may not do 12 with the hundreds. I may only get to 6 or 7, but that's good. That's what I want, because I want my body to get used to these hundreds right now. And that's going to give me a bit more muscle. You don't have to worry about that, because it sounds like to me you're just starting. So you should just focus on, in terms of reps, 8 to 10 is fine. Maybe go up to 12 if you're really digging yourself, but anywhere between 8, 10, or 12 is good. And just do the reps. But here's the bigger problem. It sounds like you don't want to do it. And if you don't want to do it, it's not going to get done, right? You signed off by saying, I have an exercise bike that you hate. So if you were in front of me, what I would say to you is, let's start out with what you like to do. The diet seems to be working because you said you're losing weight. So we don't have to focus on that. You've learned that I can get smaller portions, and by eating smaller portions throughout the day, this helps me to decrease my calories. Good. So now we have to focus on, what is it that you like? Jay and I have had this conversation before on this pod, where it's like, yo, if you don't like the gym, then don't go to the gym.
Right.
You might be that type of person who likes to do the park stuff, right? Where you go on the park and you
body weight training.
Bartender. Yeah, the whole body weight thing. You might like to stay in your house. I know you are, and just, do some push-ups, get some push-up bars, do some house resistance training. Now, I've been incorporating with some of my clients resistance bands. Resistance bands are great. They're cheap. $8, $10, $15, whatever. They all have different prices. And you can just work your resistance bands, and that's a resistance workout. What am I saying? We got to find the thing that you like, because the thing that you like, you will do and enjoy, and therefore you'll do it more consistently. If you don't like going to the gym, you're not going to go, right? Now, if you haven't been in the gym in a while, you're like, well, it's been a long time. Maybe I need to revisit it, sort of like an old friend where somebody, you know what? I didn't used to like that person, but that was 3 years ago.
They exited.
Now that I see them, yeah, they kind of, they're cool now. They're cool because, you know what? I matured. They matured.
We both
cool.
watched Loki.
That could be, yeah, right. You know what I mean? It's like, that could be your relationship with the gym. Maybe it's been so long that you step in now and you be like, you know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like it now. So, if you want to go in there and check it out again, check it out again. If you go in there and be like, you know what? It was just like the way it was 3 years ago. I can't stand this shit. Let's try other things, right? And so home workout is 1. Outside workout is 2. It is getting cold, so maybe the outside workout you can't do for so long, but it is an option. And there are also different type of gyms now, right? There's people who all they do is kettlebells. Maybe that's all you want to do. I want to kettlebell myself out. But try different resistance programs, see the ones that you like, and go from there.
All right. There you go. That's Dre's advice. I'm going to come at it from another angle. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't agree, but I just want to offer some different information. And so I know this person, and we've been having discussions here and there, and they have been doing well with their weight loss journey. But that message reads to me like you want to step it up. Okay, well, if you want to step it up, then you have to try different things. I'm a busy person, like you're a busy person. So I totally understand not having a lot of time to work out. However, the same way we make time to scroll on Instagram, the same way we make time to listen to new music, the same way we make time to go on dates, and do all these other things, we have to make time for our goals. And so if this is your goal, you have to make time to work out. Whatever works for you. I don't know the answer. I'm not saying you got to go in there for 5 hours, 5 days a week. But if you got 30 minutes, then go in there and get some good 30 minutes in. That's what I'm going to say. So that's my first piece. Make time for your goals. You see, based on what you've said, food is doing good, but you want to step it up. Well, to step it up, you got to do some different shit. Because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a brand new result. And that's not going to work. So that's number one. Number two is, in response to the actual question, what should I do? I'm going to say something similar. Your question is, do I need to do big weights, low reps, or light weights, high reps? I'm going to say, go in there and do something. Go in there and do something, because right now, you're not doing either one. You're being told you need to build muscle to lose fat. I mean, there's always different ways to skin a cat, right? And now, if you are interested in building muscle, that's cool. But you don't have to build muscle to lose weight. There are other things you could do. You could start going on long walks to lose weight. You could start going for a jog. You could start going swimming. You could get on the elliptical. If you hate your bike, cool. There's plenty of other cardio machines if you just want to bring weight down. As far as muscle, I would say you're going to have what they call newbie gains, right? And newbie gains, what are that? Newbie gains are when you've never worked out before and you get into a gym and you start doing a little bit of something. It catches on a little quicker because this is new for your body. Your body's like, oh shit, what is this new thing? I like it. Give me more. And so you're going to have what they call newbie gains. I would be less concerned with low weight, high weights, low reps, and low weight, high reps. I wouldn't be concerned with either one. I would go into the gym and say, hey, I don't be in the gym. I don't come to the gym. I'm going to go in the gym and start a routine going. Maybe you want to hit us up for routines. We both can help you out with that. You know, Dre's more in depth. He gonna give you, you're gonna get what you pay for. He gonna hook you up. Me, I'm gonna give you some simple shit. Here you go. Do this for 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, call me back. We'll work something else out. Maybe go to the gym together if you don't live too far, right? But point being, right now, you want to step it up, then you gotta do something different. Go in the gym, learn those machines and weights. See what works for you. And again, like Dre said, what do you enjoy? Maybe you go in there and you're like, son, I am loving this chest press. This chest press is crazy. All right, great. Well, now you know you like chest press. Let's get you a routine going with the weights and what's challenging for you, whatever that is. If that's 10-pound dumbbell bicep curls, awesome, baby. Get those 10 pounds and go crazy. That's it. I would start by starting in the gym. I wouldn't even be worried about more reps, less reps, high weight, low weight, machines, no machines. Just listen, go in there and get it started. You know what I'm saying? Just go see what's up. Get in there, get you a little $10 membership. They didn't pay us, so I'm not going to say their name, but go get you a $10 membership, you know, and go in there and see what you could do with the time you have. I don't know what time you have. You didn't disclose that to us. But even if you just have 30 minutes, you can get a nice workout going for 30 minutes. And you do that 3, 4, 5 days a week. In 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you're going to see, oh man, I'm looking real good out here. You know what I'm saying? I've got things popping in places I didn't know they was popping. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my silly long answer. Just start. A lot of times we worry too much about things that really don't matter today. And this is a great question because it brings up multiple parts of a journey, right? So you got some success already on your journey. Congratulations. We salute that. You're doing good. Now you're saying, I want to step my shit up. Cool. And you have the knowledge to recognize I don't like the thing I have at home. Great. Then leave home, dedicate some time, and go do the thing. And then see what happens in 3, 4, 5 months. Hit us back with more questions. It's all good. We here all day.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hit us back with more questions. I would love to see your progress. But one thing I did want to say, because I also see this when you were speaking of, is that advice, because there's so many people out there, advice seems to get convoluted, right? You turn on YouTube, you ask one question, and you get a plethora of everybody who's an expert telling you, no, if you really want to lose fat, you got to do it this way. No, if you really want to lose it, you got to do it this
And
way.
if you
No,
really want to
you
lose
got to do
fat,
it
you
this
got to buy my program for
right.
$59.99. Like, nah.
Right. And do it this way, do it that way. And honestly, we make something that is so simple really, really, really confusing and convoluted. And it's not. It's just, it really
Right.
isn't. Nobody wants to say that it's simple because it's simple. But the truth is, yes, it's simple. The only thing hard about it is you just got to be consistent, right? And the only way you're really going to be consistent if you like it. That's why I've always got to start there. You got to like that thing. You got to feel good to you.
Right.
We spoke about this many a time. Some people do super well because they go to classes, right? A lot of times you'll see this with women. A lot of times they go, oh no, I'm going to my so-and-so class or this class, because having 20 other people in there and they're pumping the music, it's
Yeah,
so
they like that
cycle, whatever
energy.
it is. They like that energy. They like the music. They just get into it. If it works for you, that works. That's
Right.
good. Other people, like myself, I need to be in my zone. I don't want to listen. I don't even see you. I got my blinders on. I got
You
my
got tunnel
music,
vision.
and let me just go through. Right. That works for me.
Right.
But you really just got to find a thing that you like, and this means right now, what you're going to be doing is experimenting. Just going to experiment. Write down how you feel. Like Jay said, okay, I went on
Right.
this, I felt this way. When I went on this, I felt that way. The next day from that, this made me feel this way, this made me feel that way. He's absolutely right with the newbie gains. Whatever you get on, you're going to see a
Yeah.
response very quickly because your body isn't
Yeah, you're
used
about to
to it.
be a
And that's a good
transformer. You know what
thing.
I'm
That's
saying?
that's nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gonna feel really great. Um, if it came down to, yeah, you should really contact us again, because if it really came down, it's like, only thing I have is a half hour. To be honest with you, I would just be like, look, if you only got a half hour, that's all you have. I would just be like elliptical.
That's it.
Honestly, I'd be like elliptical. Well, why, Dre? Well, elliptical is going to give you the best of both
That's right.
worlds within a short amount of time. You're going to have some resistance if you bring the resistance up. And if you keep it at 0, it's easy. It means nothing. But if you start popping it up, 5, 7, resistance, whatever, now it takes you a lot. You can't do it as fast. Your back is working, your chest is working. Elliptical is a full body workout. And this is why I got turned on to it 20 some odd years
Right.
ago, maybe a little bit more, because when I first went on there, I was like, ow, why my arms hurt, my back hurt, my chest, because it was just working everything. And so if you only have a half hour and you're on some, like, I want to lose fat and gain muscle, in my experience, the machine that does that the best, and I'm not saying that's all you
Right.
need. I'm saying, you say you only have a half, this is the machine that'll give you the best bang for your buck within a half hour. If you got some more time, but we can start talking about other things. But that's what I'd recommend.
I mean, unless you just don't want to do cardio, right? If you say I don't want to do cardio, okay, then it's a different journey
Right,
because you can still do stuff
right,
with a half hour, but you're gonna have to have a proficient
true.
half hour, getting it in on the weights and machines.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But yeah, try some of that. Like Jay said, we're not going to mention any names of any gyms, but there are some gyms that are like all women gyms. There are some gyms that are friendly to this people, friendly to that people. There's some gyms, like I said, they only work with this. They do cross training, whatever. You know, go in, talk to people, see how people are feeling about it, and see how you feel. A lot of times you could just walk into a place and be like, nah, it's not for me. And sometimes you walk in and be like, yo, I see what these cats is doing. I like it. So experiment. Don't look for the one answer cures all. The more you experiment, the more you see what you really like. Once you zone into what you like, do that more consistently.
Agreed. And again, thanks for the question. Listeners, viewers, we want more questions. If you got them, send them on in. We want them.
Please.
You know what I mean?
Please. Yeah, that
We
was a great
accept text
question. I really
messages,
appreciate that.
emails, Instagram DMs, as long as it's about food, fitness. You know what I mean? Food, fitness,
Right.
we in there. Thumbs up.
No doubt.
All right, Dre, what's our last topic?
Right.
Take us home, baby.
All right, so for the last topic is just gonna be some silly stuff that I saw on Instagram. I'm gonna share my screen again, and we're gonna look at some of these like wild clips.
Let me get the specs out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let me and then we're gonna talk about, because hey, what's going on right now is we're in December, and we know what comes when December starts coming. People start thinking about
year,
that
new
new year,
me.
and then the New Year resolution,
New year, new me, baby.
a lot like this anonymous, like, hey, I'm thinking about how I want to look for 2024, and people start joining gyms and doing silly stuff, and my whole thing is like, yo, take it easy. And so we're gonna look at some examples of people who didn't necessarily do that, and have a small discussion.
All right,
here we go. Boom, and share. All right, this is from an Instagram account called WTF Fitness or Itness. I really like this account because it makes me laugh, and it's just too true with a lot of their stuff. So let's look at some of the stuff. You can see things, Jay?
Yeah.
Okay. Home workout. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And
damn, that hurt. What?
So, I'm gonna keep sharing the screen, but I know you guys can hear me. Listen, man. Listen. No workout is worth killing yourself.
Right.
Bottom line. And, we just got to be careful when we're doing these like things, especially for cameras. You know what I'm saying?
This cat's just be inventing
shit. Yeah. Hold on. I didn't really want to check out that one. But here's another one.
All right.
This is a one of this guy doing some squats. And, anytime you're doing free weights, there's a danger to it. Now, I'm not trying to get people afraid of free weights, but I am trying to say follow safety protocols, period.
Yep.
Let's take a look at this.
You didn't
me. So, what just happened there?
Try
this happens all the time.
It's too late.
And you didn't put the things on the lock on the right at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, people do this all the time. They're lazy. They just load up the bar and don't take the other, minute or two just to put the stoppers on the end.
Yeah.
They're called stoppers for a reason. What do? They stop the weights from falling on your fucking head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
and this is not only dangerous for you, this is dangerous for other people around you. Because that could easily spell on his spotter's foot or a passerby or anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. And man, people just really like destroy themselves with the ego,
Listen,
let's take a look.
We love talking about the ego.
Blood got boosted.
Now, why am I showing that one? because sometimes people think the gym is a place to play. You see what I'm saying? Like these are obviously his friends,
Right.
and they thought it was funny to do this sort of like practical joke.
Right.
While the person has weight on their back. No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing happened to him,
Thankfully.
but thankfully, like the danger that was there was really, really high.
Yeah.
When people are lifting weights, that is not a time to joke around. Jay, I know you want to say something. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's really stupid. Like, I just think, you know, anytime you're doing something in the gym, there's supposed to be a level of concentration going in on what you're
Yes.
doing. That also applies for your spotter, because they have to be ready to help you in various ways. Playing games at the gym, like, don't come to the gym, go to a playground. Like,
Right.
it's not the time for
Right.
play. It's not the time to go, hey, let's all go try to holler at that girl with the purple. No, it's time to come here and work out. That's it. Focus on the workout.
Focus.
You want to
That's the
play and
key.
do pranks? The gym is a dangerous place to do that. People can die, and we've
Yes.
spoken here about people dying from doing shit at the gym that they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said spotter because I want to show this one. Of this is the typical gym bro spotter who's not really spotting.
Uh-huh.
And you tell me how you feel about it when you see it. Pardon me.
Let's go, Yanya. Let's go, Yanya.
Jay?
I mean, it's foolishness. Like, first of all, you don't spot with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's really bad, and again, this person could have really been injured. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you don't spot that way. When you spot, and we've discussed this before, you're in a position where when that person is approaching failure or hits failure, you can step in and complete what needs to be completed. Whether that's bringing it the rest of the way up, setting it down and locking it in place, removing the weight completely from them, whatever that thing is. Not just having a hand there for fuck's sake. Like, because it looks cool on the gram. Like, that's not helping
Right.
anyone.
Yeah, this is one of the worst spots I've seen. You're absolutely right. It's like if you're going to be make a decision on what you're going to be. If you're going to be a spotter, spot. If you're going to be a cheerleader,
Right.
and just say, yeah, you got it, that's not a spotter.
No.
Okay, that's not a spotter. Is there for safety.
Yeah.
And this guy, even though he did push it up, he was lucky. Okay, because he was struggling too much. He could have completely lost that. And as you said, that one hand wouldn't have done any different.
No, it wouldn't have done
You know,
anything.
put two hands up there, help him out, help relieve. You see that he's trembling. You don't want to see this bar fall on this person's face.
Yeah.
Okay, so be a spotter, not a cheerleader.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders are not needed
No.
in a gym. They're just not.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? All right. I think I got one more that I want to show, and well, maybe two.
Okay.
Here's another just sad story.
Okay.
And tell me how you feel about it. And did you see that?
Yeah.
I'll let it play again.
I did.
Uh-huh. Okay. Thoughts?
I mean, it's just a clown show. Like, I mean,
It's just a clown It is not funny, but it's funny at the
No, it
same
is. It's
time. But
because
it is
it's
a
like, yo,
clown
what are
show.
we doing? Like, tell me what is the purpose of this? Are you training for the Olympics? Are you
Right,
training for like
right,
the 40-yard jump or some shit? Like, what are we doing? You know, there's a saying
right.
that I'm not really a fan of, but sometimes it's fitting. And it's very popular right now. And the saying is play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I couldn't agree more. You know, anytime you step into a gym, and this place is called Paradise Gym, right? Anytime you step into a gym, the question has to be, what am I here for? Okay? If I'm here to build muscle, let's do things to build muscle.
Right.
If I'm here to burn fat, let's do things to burn fat. If I'm here to become more athletic, right? Then fine, you could do things so you be more athletic. But no matter what you're doing, you have to say to yourself, whatever I'm here for, whatever my goal is for, mobility, whatever, I have to do this safely.
Yeah,
Okay? And as you said, it's becoming a clown show because everyone wants to put, some video out
of
there and
course.
try to look like Superman or Superwoman.
Right.
And it looks like this guy could have possibly broke his leg. Like you said, if you're training for the Olympics and that looks like you're training to do like maybe long jumping, when people long jump, where do they do that in?
Mud.
They do it in
Dirt.
soft
Yeah,
mud,
man.
dirt
Yeah.
that moves with you. That when you fall on your butt, basically your feet slide forward.
Yep.
That's the way you do long jump. So if you're training for the long jump, you go to where the long jump
Right.
is and you do it safely.
Yeah.
To go into the gym and try to do this, whatever this
Right.
is, it's like, bro, do you want to break your leg? Like,
Yeah.
that's not even how you train for a long jump.
No, it's just
You know
reckless.
what I mean? So yeah, it's reckless, but this is how people hurt
Of
themselves.
course.
And it isn't any fun when you have to spend 3, 4, 5 months in recovery because you hurt yourself doing something stupid.
I agree. Let's hit this last one and then I gotta go.
Yep, this is the last one.
Let me sit my stupid ass down. Bro, what am I?
All right. So once again, head injuries are real, people. Head injuries are real. Brain injuries are real. When you make a decision to do workouts you're not familiar with, don't know how they're done, and you land on your head,
Yeah.
spinal neck injuries,
Spinal.
I just got to close it on. You know
I'm
what
sorry,
I mean?
that
I
made me
just
think
got
of
to
Mike
close it on
Tyson.
that. Yeah, I broke my back.
But Mike, what do you mean? Spinal.
You know what I mean? Like, I see this
Oh, man.
too often where people are doing their things and things with your head, your spine, your neck bending. That's what you call a wheelchair accident, because once you break that spine, brain, neck connection, it's very rare that you can walk out from that. Now you have a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And so I just wanted to be like, yo, as we move into this new year and we're super excited and we want to go in the gym, or we see these weird workouts and we want to do them too, please, please, please let safety be your first concern.
Yeah.
Before any wild workout you do. Because no matter what workout you do, trust me, you're not going to get crazy results from it by doing it one time or two times.
No.
Any workout you do, you're going to have to do it a long time, several months, to get a real result.
Yeah.
So stay away from these weird workouts that have high risk, Jay.
Right. And learn the form, because there's nothing wrong with using an ab roller, but one, make sure your
Yep.
footwear is correct. Make sure you're on make sure that the ground you're on, whatever it is that you're laying on, make sure that it's the proper type of material. That ab roller is not going to react the same to every type of material. If you're doing an ab roller on a freshly waxed floor, it might not be a great idea. And so form and awareness are also important because there's nothing wrong with an ab roller. They're actually very challenging and pretty fly. But you got to make sure you got your form right. Am I going out enough? Do I have the proper form on my lower body? And take your time. You're trying to zip through things. That's why I mention form so much. Because a lot of times people just, I mean, what we do is that cardio. I mean, what is this? What's going on right there? I mean, I don't. Are you the Flash? Are you Superman? What's going on? Like Quicksilver is your brother? What's up? Like,
Right.
so
Man.
I don't want it to seem like we're knocking unorthodox workouts because we do some unorthodox workouts ourselves. We've both been in the gym and cats are like, son, what the fuck are y'all doing right now? We like, oh, y'all know about this right here? There's some old crazy 80s bodybuilding shit that we learned from Yoda. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's fine.
Exactly.
But what's important is, and this is something y'all both taught me way back, it's like, we're going to show you some wild shit. But before we do anything, we're going to do it with nothing in our hand. We're just going to mimic the form until we got it right. Then we're going to put a light ass weight in your hand. We ain't going to give you the hundreds. We're going to give you like the fives. Here's the fives. See how that feels. Remember your form and slowly get it done. Then it's like, okay, how those fives feel? Yo, these fives feel light as fuck. Okay, now let's figure out what weight you could use. But we wasn't just like, yo, here's the hundreds. Do this crazy workout. Listen, I've never held the hundreds. I don't want to hold the hundreds. I'm scared of the hundreds. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not just going to walk into the gym with Dre tomorrow and be like, yo, son, give me those hundreds. I'm about to do this chest press. Hell no. But what I will do is pay attention to my form regardless of what I'm doing and focus on what I'm doing. I don't want to zip through the workout. Easy way to hurt yourself. Focus on form and really knowing what it is you're doing, whether that's an ab roller, a chest press, a squat rack, or some new shit I never even heard of.
Right. Man, I couldn't agree more. Form and technique, get that right first because that really is the thing that's going to get you that look or that strength that you're looking for. Get the form right first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whether and we talking about weights or whatever, but like you said, whatever.
It could be a push-up. It don't gotta be weights. Like,
yeah. If you're talking about, okay, I'm gonna jump from this to this, well, do the tiny jumps first, okay, and then slowly bring your weight.
Right.
Don't just go in there and just be like, yeah, I'm about to jump 6 feet high. No, you're not there.
and you about to land on your ass.
and could possibly kill yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we're not doing that. Jay, you're absolutely right. Form and technique, start small. Get your ego out of your exercise.
That's right.
Be safe.
That's it. And on that note, we out of here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully you did. And don't forget to send your questions. We want those questions. And we out.